Greetings everyone. In today's video I am going to show you how to download, install and use the Flux in details by using the Swarm UI. Swarm UI is a very advanced and also very powerful GUI that will allow you to use the Flux model as easy as using it on Automatic 1111 Web UI. Probably it will take a lot of time for Automatic 1111 Web UI to bring support to the Flux models. So if you want to use as easy as Automatic 1111 Web UI, Swarm UI and this tutorial is the best one that you can find. I have prepared very detailed instructions and also one-click models downloader that supports FP8 version of the model, thus you will save over 20 GB storage and bandwidth. Flux model works as low as 6 GB VRAM having GPUs, however it will be a little bit slower, but don't worry because I will show how to use it on cloud services as well. Flux model is the currently state-of-the-art model according to the LScore, even better than Midjourney, and it is developed by the Black Forest Labs. So if you have a lower VRAM having GPU, I will show you how to use this amazing model on massive compute with amazingly cheap price, 31 cents per hour on a very powerful 48 GB A6000 GPU. It works blazing fast. If you are a Rampot fan, I will show you how to install latest version of Swarm UI and use the Flux on Rampot as well. You will be amazed by the quality of the Flux model, how well it follows your prompts, how amazing anatomy and text it can generate. I will make a comparison with the Midjourney and you will be surprised at how Flux model beaten the Midjourney in terms of prompt following and quality. Moreover, I will show some of the technical details that no others will show you, like using this model with FP16 precision. The FP16 precision is not enabled by default even if you have a high VRAM GPU, but on the cloud services you will be able to use FP16 and get better quality images. Also, I will show you Flux guidance scale. The CFG scale of the Flux is different than the CFG of the SDXL or other stable diffusion models. Furthermore, I have done a very extensive comparison for both development model, turbo model and FP16 version, so you will be able to compare any combination with any other combination and see how different images they generate. Finally, I have updated our Swarm UI Kaggle notebook, free account Kaggle notebook, and on this notebook you will be able to use the Flux model as you are using in your PC. So if you don't have a powerful GPU and if you don't want to pay any cloud services, you will be able to use Flux model on a free Kaggle account. As usual, I have prepared a very detailed post. This is a public post. You can see the content and download the content of this post without even having a Patreon account. If you have watched my previous master Swarm UI tutorial, you already know this post. I have updated it. In this tutorial, I will not show how to install and use Swarm UI from scratch like I did. So if you haven't watched it previously, please watch this 70 chapters video, click this link. So in this amazing tutorial, click here to see all of the chapters. You see there are 70 chapters fully written by me. It has manually written, fully accurate subtitles, captions. So watch this tutorial to learn how to install and use the Swarm UI on your Windows PC. And if you want to install and use on cloud services such as Massive Compute, Rampot and Kaggle, I have another tutorial. So first you watch this Windows tutorial, then you watch this cloud tutorial. This cloud tutorial is also perfectly chaptered, so look at the chapter to learn how to install. So in this tutorial, I am going to show you the newest Flux models installation and how to use them, and also I will give a lot of information regarding the precision of the models. By default, the published models by the Black Forest Labs are FP16. However, when we use them in Swarm UI, they are by default used with FP8 version. Also, I have prepared amazing comparison image SLI. I have rented a very powerful GPU and compared every one of the cases like you are seeing. So you can check this link as well. So how we are going to install Flux model into our Swarm UI and use it on our computer. I will also show how to use that on Rampod, also on Massive Compute as well. Moreover, our Kaggle notebook is updated and now you can use the Flux model on a free Kaggle account. So if you don't have a powerful GPU, you can use the Flux model on a Kaggle account. All the instructions are written on the Kaggle notebook as well. So you need to start downloading the Flux models. They are not automatically downloaded. The download instructions are posted on the Discord channel of the Swarm UI. However, I also have attached it to this post. So click this link. It will download these instructions. This is from the Discord channel of the Swarm UI. Follow the instructions from here. Alternatively, as usual, I have prepared one-click model downloaders which I am going to use. So the model downloaders are posted in this link. Click here. In this post, you can read the descriptions, and also in the very bottom, you are going to find Flux Models Auto Downloaders zip file. Let's click and download it. Then cut it and move into your Swarm UI installation folder. I did a fresh installation yesterday. So for Swarm UI installation, if you remember, we just ran the install windows.bat file, which is the official file from the Swarm UI GitHub repository. So paste it into same folder. You see, this is my Swarm UI installation and this is the installer files. Extract here. Click yes because I have Massive Compute. And then double click Windows Start Download.bat file. It will ask you all of the options. Now, which options do you need? If you don't have a bandwidth problem, you can download the FP16 versions. Don't worry, the Swarm UI will run them at the FP8 version. However, if you are not going to use FP16 version, which you cannot use unless you have more than 24 GB, you can download the FP8 versions, which will save your space. So how you are going to download? Just select the option that you want to download. Now there are two options. You see 4 steps version and 20 steps development version. If you don't have a 24 GB GPU like RTX 3090 or 4090, the 20 steps version will work slower, the development version. So you need Scanel version, which I call turbo model, for 4 steps. It is up to you. I'm going to download both of them to show you. So I will select option 3 and it will start downloading them automatically. Since I already have downloaded them, you see it shows me that successfully downloaded both of the files because I had downloaded them. This downloader script has resume capability, retry capability, and if fully downloaded, it will skip the downloading. So once you have downloaded the files, let me show you the files inside models, inside UNet. They are here. All you need to do is first update your Swarm UI. This is super important. So for updating, update windows.bat file. It will automatically update to the latest version. Then it will automatically close. And then we will start the Swarm UI as usual. Everything explained in the original 90-minute video. So I'm just launching it. And in the downloader script, you will see another option, which is T5 text encoder FP16 version. Automatically Swarm UI will download and use FP8 version. However, if you have 24 GB, you can use the FP16 version as well, which I am going to use. So I will select it and I will download the FP16 version because I have 24 GB. And this makes some improvements to the original version. It doesn't much, but it's a little bit. Actually, this is going to take time, so I will just skip it for now. I will show that on the cloud computers. Okay, so the Swarm UI has started. And when we go to the models tab and we refresh, we will see both turbo version and the development version. The development version is better than the turbo version. I have compared both of them. Now, how we are going to use these models? According to your GPU, select the model that you want. I am going to first start with the Flux turbo model. Let's type a prompt: super amazing car. Are we done? No. First of all, you need to set the CFG scale to 1 because Flux works with only CFG scale 1 and you need to set the steps count 4 to get the advantage of the turbo model. And if you are wondering, are there CFG scale for the Flux model? Yes, there is CFG scale for Flux model. However, it doesn't exist on the turbo model. When I select the development model, you will see under sampling, there is Flux guidance scale here. So you can enable this and use it. For now, we are going to use turbo model. So let's make the first example with turbo model. So let's generate amazing car. All we did was setting the step count 4 and CFG scale 1. So the CFG scale and the CFG scale of the flux model is different. This is flux guidance scale, not exactly a CFG scale. The negative prompt currently is not working with the flux model because we have to use CFG scale 1. And let's go to the server, and in the logs, let's see what is happening in the debug. So first it will load the model into the VRAM, then it will start generating. Okay, the first image generated with 7 seconds. Let's see it. So this is the image we got. Let's generate another one to see the real speed, because initially it will be initializing. Yes, the image is getting generated in total 7 seconds on RTX 3090, and this is the result we got. Unfortunately, it doesn't look very good right now. As you are seeing, there is some blurriness, even though we are using CFG scale 1, which is the accurate, and we are using 4 steps, but not every image will be like that. Let's generate another one to see if this is the case. Okay, you see this image is accurate. So with turbo model, you will be sacrificing some of the quality, unfortunately. However, with the development model, you won't. Okay, this one is pretty good. So you see, turbo model is some like a luck. You need to generate lots of images. It is really fast. It is almost instant. Let's generate this image with the also development model. So reuse parameters. And when I select the development model, I need to make the step count 20 and generate. Even if you have 10 GB or 8 GB GPU, it will still work. However, it will be much more slower than on my computer because it will be have to do a lot of optimization. And how you can use FP16 version of this model? To use that, you need to enable these advanced options, and under advanced samplet you need to select preferred D type and default 16-bit. Otherwise, when it is set to the automatic, it will be using FP8 weights. Okay, we are not going to do that because it requires more than 24 GB. I will show you that on the cloud part of this tutorial. We are getting our image, and yes, this is the image that the development model generates. So what is the difference between the development model and the turbo model? The development model and turbo model are both distilled models, not the full model. Full model is only available with API. The turbo model distilled in time step. So with 4 steps you generate an image. The development model is distilled with guidance. So it is weaker than the full model, which is only available with API, not available to use on our computer. So then the rest is same. You can generate any images you want. This model supports up to 2 megapixels, so it is like up to 1536 to 1536. It really generates good images. Let's generate 1536 to see on our computer. And if you are wondering how much VRAM it is using right now, by the way, this VRAM usage will depend on your GPU. With 3090, currently my system is using 20.5 GB VRAM. So the model is using around 19 GB, 18.5 GB VRAM on 3090 GPU. As I said, if you have a lower VRAM machine, Swarm UI will do a lot of optimizations and reduce the VRAM usage, and it will work. However, it will be much slower. So in the server, in the debug, we can see current speed. So currently it is taking around 3.9 second IT to generate this over 2 megapixel image. Actually, this is 2.25 megapixel, 1536 to 1536, but it is working pretty amazing. Let's see if we are using any shaded VRAM. We shouldn't be. Let's go to the performance, and you see I'm not using any significant shaded VRAM. If you use significant shaded VRAM, then it will become much more slower. The Swarm UI does some CPU offloading and some other optimizations, and we are getting the image. And this prompt is very simplistic. We are going to see the results of advanced prompts in the cloud part of this tutorial, and this is the image we got. It is looking pretty amazing. All right, now let's begin the cloud part, because many people will be needed to use cloud services to get a faster speed. As I have shown in this cloud tutorial, you will start your cloud services as usual. I also have added some additional information to the bottom of the post. You should read here once more time. We also have now how to use the started Swarm UI on Macet Compute to use on your computer. Now I will show you how to proceed. I will begin with the Macet Compute. So the Macet Compute already has the Swarm UI installed. I am just going to start the machine with our coupon. First of all, we select the creator category, SE courses, and our coupon. Watch the full tutorial. If you don't know how to use Macet Compute, I will just start the machine. Then I will copy my downloader files into my synchronization folder as I have shown in the main tutorial. Okay, I have copied. Now all I need to do is just wait for initialization. You see, with Macet Compute with our coupon, it is only 31 cents per hour, and we are using staggering for the 8 GB VRAM having machine with RTX A6000. This works super fast. You will see it. Alright, the Macet Compute instance started. Let's connect quickly as usual, as shown in the main cloud tutorial. So I am going to skip a lot of parts of the main cloud tutorial. There is one additional thing that I'm going to show in this tutorial, which is connecting to the Swarm UI with the ngrok to connect from my own computer. Okay, the Macet Compute instance started, so I'm going to first download the Flux models. To do that, I am going to use the downloader files from the Patreon. You can also follow the instructions here. The links are also in the Patreon post, that is the public one, and download manually into the accurate folders. However, using this installers will make your life easier, of course, as usual. So just copy paste the files into the desktop first, then open the download instructions file, copy this command from here, copy, and then 3 dots, open terminal, paste, and you will get these downloading options. So which files I'm going to download? I'm going to download FP16 versions because I have 48 GB and I am going to get a better quality. So let's download the FP16 version with option 4. Then I am going to start another instance. I'm going to download at the same time. Let's paste it again. And I'm going to download option 5. Then also I'm going to download the best T5 text encoder with the option 8. So I am downloading 3 files at the same time. Let's see the speed of the Macet Compute. This is running on a cloud, not on my machine. And we will see the speed. Okay, so there is 200 megabytes and 350 megabytes over 600 megabytes, and also this one is going to download, but it didn't start yet. Okay, it's starting. Yes. Okay, so when we sum all of the download speed, you see this is 300 megabytes per second, this is 100 megabytes, and this is about 100 megabytes, so over 500 megabytes per speed download speed, which is just amazing. When you download FP16 version of the T5, you won't be able to use it as a FP8 version because it is automatically using the whatever the precision of the T5 text encoder with the Swarm UI. However, even though we are downloading the FP16 version of the Flux models, you see 23.8 GB, the FP8 version was around 11 GB. You can still set the D type to FP8, which is default, so generate with lower VRAM. So keep in mind that if you download the FP16 version of T5, it will use more VRAM. But with FP16 version of the Flux models, you will be still using them with FP8 by default, and you will be able to also use them with FP16 version as well. Okay, downloads are almost completed. Yes, this is completed, and the last one is also almost completed. So downloading all of the files took lesser than 4 minutes in total time. We downloaded over 50 gigabytes. So let's go to the desktop with Ctrl-Alt-D. Before starting the Swarm UI, it is pre-installed. First, you need to update it. So this is the Swarm UI updater. This one you see when I hover my mouse, it says Run Stable Swarm UI Update. It still says Stable Swarm UI, but this is using the Swarm UI latest version, not the Stable Swarm UI. Now it is developed as a new GitHub repository, and it is updating from the latest GitHub repository, not from the older Stable Swarm UI, and it is started. So you see we are using Swarm UI version 0.9.1.1, which is the latest version right now. It also shows the last update date, and then we go to the models, and they are all here. However, as I said, I'm going to use this with ngrok on my computer, so let's close this as well. And we are going to use the instructions from here. First of all, we need to install the ngrok. So let's start a CMD window from here, paste it. Then we need to get a token from here. You need to log in your ngrok account. Let's copy it. Then let's open a notepad file, paste the token here, then let's get this. So it will become like this, ngrok out token. Okay. And then we will just paste this. Okay. And it is saved. Then all we need to do is run this. This will give us a public URL. Okay, it didn't copy. Sometimes it may happen. Copy again and then paste it. And yes, we got the public URL right now. After that, we need to start the stable Swarm UI. I'm going to just run the stable Swarm UI now because we already have updated. Okay, Swarm UI started, not stable Swarm UI. I am still saying stable Swarm UI, but this is now Swarm UI. Then I need to copy this link. This is the public and ngrok link and paste it into my own computer browser. Then click visit site. Remember, the order is matter. So first you start the ngrok, but do not click the visit site, then start Swarm UI, then click the visit site, and you see now this is running on Macet Compute. So let's go to the models. We also have other models on Macet Compute right away installed for you, so you can use all of them. I'm going to use the development branch. This will run by default on FP8 precision, not FP16. So let's generate an image. Don't forget to set this CFG scale to 1. And let's use some prompts from the Midjourney as a comparison. So this is the prompt, this is the hard prompt. Let's copy paste it and we are set. Let's generate. First time it will load the model. Let's go to the server, logs and debug. So you can see what is happening here. This will run the Flux model on FP8 precision, but the text encoder will be running on FP16 precision. So I click the display advanced options and then I am also going to change the advanced sampling type from here. I will show after this is generated. And are there any difference between FP16 and FP8? Yes, there is difference. As I said, look at this image SLI and you will notice the differences. FP16 works better, but it uses more VRAM. Okay, we got an image. There is a robot. So I am going to make the preferred D type into the default 16-bit. And let's say a war robot. Okay, let's see. And you can see that the hands are amazing. It's a perfect quality hands. And I can say that this is actually better than the Midjourney. The Midjourney image doesn't have the accurate robot doing okay hand, you see, but the Flux model generated an image more accurate than the Midjourney. This is just amazing. And we can use this locally without using any third-party services. Now it is reloading the model in FP16 precision. You can always watch the logs from server logs and View debug. So this is how you can use the very best Flux model on Macet Compute. It is running on Macet Compute, but I am using it on my PC. As I said, watch the main tutorial to learn more about how to use on Macet Compute. Okay, so now I am going to show this on Runpod. All the instructions are written in this post. So let's go to the Runpod from this link. Let's log in and let's go to the pods, deploy. I'm going to deploy on a secure cloud for faster right now. I need speed. I'm going to select this one and I am going to deploy it on L40S GPU. Now as a template, I suggest you to use this Torch template, which is Torch 2.1. This is working very well. Then you need to edit the template at the port of the Swarm UI, which is 7801. Let's make the volume disk like 100 gigabytes and set overrides and deploy on demand and go to my pods. The installation is so easy. Everything is written here. We just need install linux.sh file. This is a public post, as I said. Let's just wait for machine to start. The installation is shown in the main tutorial. You need to first install, then you need to download the models. On Macet Compute, you don't need to install, it is pre-installed. So let's quickly remember, let's upload the file, make sure that it has the accurate naming. Then all we need to do is just run this command, open terminal. It should be very fast on this pod. It's an expensive pod. By the way, you don't need this pod. You can run this on RTX 3090 pod as well. You just need to use the FP8 precision, not FP16, and it will work perfect. And by default, Swarm UI uses FP8 precision, so you don't need to worry about anything. Okay, the installation process will start now. I will connect from 7801 port. This is super important because there is no share for Swarm UI like Gradio. Agree. Customize, modern dark, just yes, config local. I'm not going to download anything and install now. This installers installs the latest version of the Swarm UI from the official new repository, so you don't need to update or anything else. It will just install the latest version. By the way, when you use the turbo model or the development model, they use the same amount of VRAM and they have the same step speed. So what matters is that with the turbo model, you only need to execute 4 steps compared to the 20 steps. So it is taking 5 times lower duration than the development step. The turbo model is the Scannel model. I am not able to spell it accurately. This is a time step distilled model. So if you have lower than 20 gigabyte GPU on your computer, you can use this to generate images in the reasonable times. You can still use this development model, but it will take 5 times more duration than the turbo model. It is up to you. It is your choice. With Swarm UI, as low as 6 GB GPU, you can generate images on Flux models with the amazing accuracy and amazing quality. Alright, the Swarm UI started on the RAM pod. We can start installing the models. So let's upload our downloaded files, which are here. Let's just upload them into here. Then open the RAM pod instructions.txt file. Just copy this, open a new terminal like this. Paste and hit enter, and which options you want to download, it will ask you. Let's download the option 5, and then let's also download the option, which option? Option 8. So we will have the best text encoder FP16, and we are also going to have the development branch FP16 version. As I said, you can pick any of them. You can run them on any pod GPU. It will work accordingly. And backends are still loading. Sometimes you may get this error on RAM pod. If this happens, you need to restart your pod and run it again. So after you turn it off your pod or restarted your pod, to restart the Swarm UI again, you just need to execute this command. If this loading doesn't get fixed, I will do a restart. This is the RAM pod downloading speed. It is 170 megabytes per second, very decent. And there is also 150 megabytes per second. I am doing the downloads of 2 models at the same time, which is FP16 T5 and the FP16 development Flux model. Okay, both of the models are downloaded. You can see the status from here. Also, the backend loading fixed it automatically. So let's go to the models and refresh the models folder. It is getting refreshed right now. Okay, Flux development model appeared. We select it. Don't forget to set the CFG scale. Currently it is not visible, so I need to. Okay, now it is visible. You see, from clicking here to here, it will be fixed. And CFG scale 1. And we are ready to use this amazing model on RAM pod. So this time I am going to make a comparison with the Sweet AI image from one of the Stable Diffusion models. Let's copy this prompt. There are also a lot of LoRa's and other stuff. And let's paste it into our prompt and let's generate our first image. This will be by default FP8 because we didn't change the D type from advanced. So click advanced. Don't forget that. If you are using over 24 GB GPU with RAM pod or massed compute, then in the advanced sampling, we need to set the preferred D type. So I'm just going to cancel this operation, interrupt current session. Select the D type and let's say default 16-bit and generate. On Config UI, people says that since they are using default, they think that it is using FP16. However, not. When you don't explicitly define, it is using automatic, which is FP8, not FP16. Swarm UI developer added these options after I have talked with him. So with Config UI, you need to have FP16 option added. Otherwise, it will use FP8 because otherwise it wouldn't work. The file itself is 24 GB in FP16 precision. So if you are using it with FP16 precision, it would require minimum 24 GB to just load the weights into the VRAM. Okay, the generation starting. Let's go to the logs to see the speed. Okay, let's go to debug and you see it is 2 IT second. This is just mind-blowing speed and we are using FP16 T5 text encoder. So with L40S we get an amazing speed. So this is the image we got. This is the first generation, not a cherry pick, which likely happened here. This is a very good image and this is also a very good image, but let's say inside eggshell worm. Yes, you see, this is much more accurate than the Stable Diffusion Sweet AI generated image. It says that it is inside eggshell, but in the Sweet AI, in the Stable Diffusion, it is not inside eggshell. But in the generated image of the flux, it is inside eggshell. So if we increase the step count, does it matter? Let's also test this. So reuse the parameters and let's make the step count 40 because we have a powerful GPU, and I wonder if it will make any difference. And we got a different image. They both looking amazing, so the 40 steps didn't bring very much improvement, but I think it is a little bit better. So it is up to you. You can generate with 40 steps as well. Let's also generate a bigger resolution. Let's make this custom and 1536 to 1536 and generate. When we increase the resolution, it will use more VRAM, of course. And if you wonder how much VRAM it is using, let's install MVI top, pip install MVI top, MVI top, and it is using 34 gigabyte VRAM right now with these settings. However, these will give you an amazing quality. You can generate your YouTube thumbnails, you can generate whatever things that you are. By the way, this development is for non-commercial use. So if you're a company or something, you may pay attention to that. The turbo is allowing you to use for commercial purposes as well. Okay, the image is getting generated right now. We can see the progress here. The IT, of course, dropped it when we increased the resolution. It dropped to the 1.34 seconds IT, and the image is here. This is 1536 to 1536 native generation, not upscaled. The hands looks perfect. The image looks perfect. It's just amazing. As a last step, you can use this amazing model on Kaggle as well, a free Kaggle notebook as well. I have prepared the necessary cell on our notebook. You should use turbo model on Kaggle, otherwise it will be very slow. With turbo model, it takes around 100-120 seconds to generate an image, and it will work really good. Just follow the instructions in our Kaggle notebook and you can use it 30 hours every week for free on Kaggle. Generate as many as images you want. It is just amazing. And the tutorial of the Kaggle is still valid. So all of these tutorials that I have shown in Windows tutorial main, cloud tutorial main, and free Kaggle account tutorial, all is valid. Just watch them first. If you don't know how to use Swarm UI, then watch this tutorial and you will know everything. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, subscribe. Also, we have a Discord channel. When you click this link, you will see our Discord channel. We have over 7,000 members join and chat with me. I reply every one of your messages. We also have a GitHub repository. It is here. If you fork it, start it, and watch it, and also sponsor, I appreciate it. You can find the link here. And finally, we also have our own unique subreddit, SE courses. If you subscribe, follow our subreddit, I appreciate it. We only have 46 members right now, but hopefully it will get better. So hopefully see you in another amazing tutorial later.